Hey guys, welcome to Game Back today, bringing you a video, and today we're going to be covering Escape from Tarkov and building some tactical weapon builds. Today is the last day of before the wipe. The wipe is going to take place for Escape from Tarkov here on June 30th at 10 a.m., I believe, Moscow time. So what I did, everything is dirt cheap in the market, all the dealers are unlocked, you can buy everything, all the attachments very, very cheap. So I went in and built a bunch of nice tactical builds that I typically wouldn't have the chance to build just because I don't grind this game hard enough to get up to these high levels. So here, I'm able to get everything very cheap. We built some really nice builds here you can see on screen. This beautiful looking AK-74M. So we'll go ahead and let's back out and we'll just run through some of these tactical builds quick. I believe I have 8 or 9 of them here pre-built for you guys. So running through here, again, if we go up to the top, first off, we're going to cover our SR-25 from Knights Armament Company. One of my all-time favorite weapons if you're a fan of the channel. So you can see here, it doesn't even fit on the screen, but we'll go ahead and take another look at it. If we back out and just inspect the weapon here, we can take a look. And again, you can see, here's the Knights Armament Company SR-25. I have some unique attachments on this, mainly the optic. Not your typical sniper or designated marksman type optic on there. But if we go ahead and we'll look at the edited presets, what I'll do is we'll show some of these attachments that I have on here and run through them really quickly. So first off, with the SR-25, if we look at the muzzle attachment here, to control the recoil, I went ahead and put on the Landtech Dragon and 7.62x51 muzzle brake to help bring that vertical recoil down a little bit. That'll help us with the recoil control. Again, you can see if I hover over some of the options here, it's only going to increase it. So this is really, I believe, the best in-slot option. But again, we're not building for best performance. We're building mainly for aesthetics and tactical builds. So that's our Landtech Dragon on the muzzle. You can see here we have for our tactical device, we have our AN PEC 15 on the left-hand Picatinny rail mount there. That's going to give us our laser sight and our target designator. We have a tan variant of the PEC 15 on the left-hand rail. I still have my Knights Armament Company flip-up sights forward and rear on the weapon itself. Then we also have here for the handguard, we have the AR-10 compatible URX4 handguard. And again, this is a 14.5-inch handguard, and I believe we have a 16-inch barrel on this. You can see here we have a 16-inch barrel for the SR-25 for the 7.62x51. So gives it that nice extended look for the barrel option there. For the optic, I'm running the NC Star ADOP4. So this is a 3x9x42 rifle scope, as well as, so we can toggle that zoom magnification, as well as we have the top mounted delta point for close quarter situations in case we need to use that. Also, we have a standard charging handle for the SR-25. The stock ops, we're running the HK Slimline stock. Again, you can really pick anything you wanted here. You can even run like a salt mod or really anything here that you like. I just put that one on for aesthetic purposes, but you can see the different options here with the Slimline. You can also run the Magpul M-Bus. Really nice different attachments here we can run on there. I'm just running the standard Colt A2 AR-15 pistol grip. Then we have our Knights Armament Company steel 20-round magazine of the 7.62x51. And then again, for recoil control, I put on a Zenico RK2 foregrip. That's just going to help bring our vertical recoil down to 106. Because this is a DMR, we're going to be kind of tap firing it, ideally. So again, a really nice weapon from Knights Armament Company, firing 7.62x51 NATO. Again, if you've been following the channel, you know from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, this is one of the weapons I wish was truly in the game. I built kind of a conversion of it as close as possible with the 458 SOCOM rounds. But again, this is a true Knights Armament Company SR-25 firing that large 7.62x51 caliber. And again, just a beautiful weapon. You can see on the attention to detail here in Tarkov on the right hand or on the left hand magwell, and I believe it's on the right hand as well. We have the Stoner rifle. It has the Stoner logo on there. Again, the attention to detail here is just great. We have the select fire for the safety. We have the fire option. We have the magazine release. We have the bolt. Everything like that you would see in real life, right in game, and they have everything perfect except the weapon's on fire for some reason. But again, really nice looking weapon. SR-25 is one of my favorite weapons in real life and here in the game. I always love using it when I can get it for cheap in game. So if we go ahead and back out, we'll look at our next build here. Is going to be the SIG MCX and 300 Blackout, and we kind of built this to the LVAW. So if I go ahead, jump into our preset options here. Again, you can see this. If you follow the channel from Modern Warfare, you know the LVAW or the Black Mamba is my favorite, if not one of my favorites, if not my favorite build in Modern Warfare and Warzone. So this is kind of replicating that best we can. Again, utilizing a 300 Blackout round. So we can see here, I started with a base MCX in 300 Blackout here in game. Made some slight adjustments here What I did was for the, if we look at the stock option, and we look at the barrel option here, I threw on a 229mm barrel, so I put on a shorter barrel, as well as the longer handguard here for the Keymon foregrip for the MCX. We have the handguard here as the 12-inch handguard, and then you can see there that the handguard is going to be longer than the barrel. So what I did is I put on the SIG Taper M-Lock muzzle adapter, and then we threw on the 6-hour SRD suppressor here for the sound suppressor in 762x51. Again, because we're firing through your blackout, it is compatible. So we'll go ahead and you can see there, if I just rotate this, you can see how it doesn't take the full length of the barrel, obviously, because we have the barrel option in there, but then the suppressor there on the end. So it gives it that LVAW type look as if it were integrally suppressed, although it is not. Then we also have our Strike Industries key mod attachment there, so we can put on our PEC 15 on the left-hand Picatinis. So we put on the rail mount and then the PEC 15. And then I ran the Leupold hammer optic here with that top-mounted delta. You can see, don't forget to put that in. Sometimes I've run into raids without the delta on there. So you need to physically put the delta on there. I learned that the hard way. But again, our Leupold hammer, we have our standard charger handle. We have our flip-up sights in the back still. I removed them from the front, but you still get an ergo boost there. We have our standard 6-hour thin, lightweight MCX MPX stock, that skeleton stock there, as well as just a standard 30-round magazine here of the 5.56x45 NATO, although we can put the 300 blackouts in there, and because the receiver is compatible with that, we can fire that. So that'll give us the, again, compatibility with the 300 blackout. We can't convert this to 5.56 in-game, unfortunately, but again, 300 blackout hits really hard. We have the SIG MCX pistol grip, and again, you can just see if I deselect our functional parts here, you can see the attention to detail. We have the Leupold hammer, SIG MCX, we have the 6 Sauer logo on the mag well. We have our safety controls, 6 Sauer written in there with a serial number, it looks like, as well as our ambidextrous fire controls, mag release, forward assist, everything like that, as well as our bolt catch. So this is our SIG MCX, firing 300 blackout, AAC. Just a beautiful weapon. Again, trying to replicate the integrally suppressed LVAW, the low visibility assault weapon, or the Black Mamba, best we could. Really beautiful weapon here, especially in Tarkov. Fires that big 300 blackout round, a lot of fun to use. So we'll go ahead and back out. Next up, we're going to run the HK416. So there's a couple different builds here you can do for this. So if we just go into, let's go back and we'll do the edit the presets, because we're going to throw on some different attachments here. But basically, I'm running this with a 16-inch barrel option here. So if we look at this, again, just try to replicate a tan and black build here. So you can see we have the, I believe I'm running a 16-inch barrel on this, 16-inch for the 416A5, as well as we have the upper receiver for the HK416. The handguard is going to be, I believe it comes in at 14 inches, or actually a little bit shorter than that. I believe it's a 12-inch handguard. And again, you can just see all the different attachments here. We're running the tan EOTech, we had the flip-up iron sights, PEC 15, a lot of standard attachments. I went with a tan RVG Magpul foregrip, as well as a tan 30-round magazine. But some nice, cool additions we can do here just to switch this up so you guys can see. But I can go ahead and put on the enhanced tube. We'll just make some different options here. So actually, we'll do the enhanced tube, and then we'll do something like the MOE stock. And then what we can do is remove the PEC 15 from here. Why don't we throw it on the top rail? And then for the barrel, we can go ahead and throw, you can see the different options here. We have a 16.5, the 14.5, 10.6, and the 11.4, or just the 11. So we'll go with the standard 11, and then we can put something on like a, why don't we put on some sort of muzzle brake or a compensator, so we can put on like this Surefire War Comp flash hider, but we want to compensate. We'll do the Daniel Defense muzzle brake there, and that's a really nice looking 416 in the 11-inch barrel configuration. So there's our HK416 with the 11-inch barrel. Really nice looking weapon. Again, you can see the attention to detail HK. We have all the detail here that you could ever want. Heckler & Koch GmbH on the mag wells. So they took this. I'm not sure how, if they scan these or what they do, but the attention to detail for Battlestate Games is amazing. So this is our HK416. We'll go ahead and back out. And if we back out now, we'll go into some AK builds. So we have our AKS-74U or our AKS-M-74U. So really what I'm running on this, you can see here, tried to modernize the AKS-74U best I could, so we ran for the muzzle attachment just to help out with the recoil best we could is the JMAC RRO or the RRD4C muzzle brake. This gives us the best in-slot muzzle attachment, allows us to bring that vertical recoil down to 53. We also have some nice Zeneco attachments here for the laser. The tactical device I'm running a Zeneco Press 3 tactical devices, a laser light and a flashlight combination on the right hand, or excuse me, the left hand Picatinny. And then a nice little attachment here is the, let's see if we can actually, let me get into the edit the presets so you guys can see the differences. So the AKS-74U, right, if I were to deselect the tactical handguard, which I put on here, you can see we have the base, the old school AKS-74U look, right? So what we put on is a more modernized type handguard to allow us to have more compatibility with modernized attachments. So this handguard has Picatinny rails already on it, so we can go ahead and throw on that RK2 foregrip again for maximum recoil control, and then we can go ahead and put our tactical device, that Press 3, back on the left-hand rail. And then for our optic, why don't we run the Cobra to stay true to Russian optics, and then we can put the Cobra shade on there. So that's a beautiful looking AKS-74U. We're running the, if I just deselect these quickly, we'll scan over. We'll just flip it around here. So I'm running the Zeneco RP1 charging handle there. So another really nice attachment for the AKs. And again, we're running that RK2 charge, or the RK2 foregrip. We have the 60 round quad stack magazine of the casket mag for 545 by 39 millimeter. And then for our pistol grip, we're running, I believe it's a Zeneco pistol grip on this one. I've been running the US Palm pistol grip, but here we have an RK3. And then for the buttstock here, we have the Zeneco PT3 stock option there. So this is our AKS M74U, really is what I converted it to. Again, a really nice looking weapon, firing the 545 by 39 millimeter, and we have that quad stack casket 60 round magazine there to make sure we have enough ammo to bring down our enemies. So beautiful looking weapon. We went ahead and threw on the Cobra optic there. AKS M74U. Let's go ahead and back out. Now, speaking of AKs and short build configurations there, we'll get back to some of those soon, but here we have our the presets, AKS M74U. Again, beautiful looking weapon here. A lot of the same attachments. I went with the same exact muzzle device on this, so we can take a look really quick. I went with the JMAC RRD4C muzzle brake for maximum recoil control. We're going with the same tactical device, the Zeneco Press 3. Again, you have a bunch of different options, but this is just try to stick with that black look here for the AK. We're running the same RK2 foregrip, as well as the Zeneco RP1 charging handle for better ergonomics. Now for the handguard here, I'm running the Zeneco B30 handguard. So you can see we have a bunch of different options here, but the B30, just a really nice modernized, if we go ahead and deselect this, modernized type handguard for the AKs. It looks really aesthetically pleasing. You can see we had the Picatinny's there, just a nice modern looking AK with that B30 handguard. So we have that on there. Then you can see here I have my canted mount with my, I believe we have a Weaver optic there on the 45-degree mount. We have the RP1 charging handle. Again, we have the 60 round quad stack of the 545 by 39. I'm running the US Palm pistol grip for AKs here. And then if we swing it back around, I'm running the Fab Defense Picatinny rail dust cover, as well as the 2x2 Monstrum optic there for 2x zoom. And then, like I said, I have my backup for close quarters. We have the 45-degree cannon mount red dot there for the Weaver sight. And then we're running the RPK-16 buffer tube with the AK-12 stock option there. So beautiful looking. You can see RPK-16 buffer tube, AK-12 stock, US Palm pistol grip. We have our Monstrum compact prism 2x2 for the optic, and then we have our Fab Defense PDC dust Picatinny rail dust cover. So really nice looking build. AK-74M. Try to make it kind of close to an AK-12 since we don't have an AK-12 in Tarkov. But again, you can get pretty close with these models. Put anything you want on this. So for our AK-74M. We go ahead now and we'll back out. Speaking of modernized AKs, we have our AK-105 or the beautiful AK or the Alpha AK build. So this is one of my favorite weapons probably ever. Beautiful looking design here. Again, try to make this, the AK-105s and the 104s are what you know. And if you look at Alpha AKs online, Larry Vickers utilized, I believe it was a 545, so the AK-105 as well as the 104 is going to be the exact same as this, just firing 7.62 by 39 millimeters. So we're running almost all the same attachments here. We're running the same muzzle device. I'll just show you guys quickly what we have. So again, we have the JMAC muzzle device. We have the Press 3 tactical device, running the B30 handguard, RK2 foregrip. We're running, like I said, the B30 handguard on this. We have the tan EOTech on this, just to give it a nice clean look, as well as we're running, again, the same Fab Defense Picatinny rail dust cover, same RPK-16 buffer tube with the AK-12 stock, US Palm pistol grip, 60-round quad stack of the 545 by 39. So all the same attachments pretty much we looked at with the AK-74M, except we have it configured on the shorter carbine variant of that weapon, being the AK-105. And luckily we have the B30 handguard in here so we can make the Alpha AK. So beautiful looking weapon. We have the RP1 charging handle on there. If only we could put camo on the weapons in this game, this would be exactly, essentially what the Spetsnaz Alpha Group guys use. Basically the exact same weapon that Larry Vickers covered in his video, and we've seen a lot of Alpha AKs show up online lately. So this is our Alpha AK, configured from the AK-105, firing 545 by 39 millimeter. If we go ahead and back out now, we'll look at the Alpha AK in the 104 configuration. So I have a couple different attachments on this. Nothing crazy, but again, if we go ahead and look at these quickly, and then I'll show you just how we can make the exact same thing we looked at with the 105 for that Alpha build. So for the muzzle brake here, I'm running the Zenico DTK1 for 7.62 by 39. Muzzle brake and compensator. Again, that's going to help with the recoil. I have this thing down to 84, which is not bad for a 7.62 by 39. And then again, we have the Press 3 Zenico tactical device. And then for the handguard, I'm running, again, this is the 105, 104 compatibility for both is the Aggressor handguard. So if I look at this, the Aggressor handguard, you can see it just looks really nice on this weapon. Let's go ahead and deselect these. A lot of these attachments are the same, so you don't really need to see them. But you can see here, the Aggressor handguard, it has the Picatinnies at, let's see, 12, 2, 5, 6, and 7 and 10. So we have quad, like more than quad Picatinnies. We have multiple Picatinnies on this handguard, so it's a really nice handguard. Very easy to attach weapons without having to spend the money for the Picatinny attachments that comes equipped. And again, we have that cannon mount as well as the Weaver optic there on the top Picatinny for the 45-degree mount. I'm running the Monstrum 2x2. We have the Fab Defense dust cover. We have the RP1 charging handle, RK2 foregrip. Running a 50-round drum mag of the 7.62 by 39 millimeter. And then the same butt stock option, RPK-16 buffer tube with the AK-12 stock option. Now, if we wanted to build it the same as the Alpha AK we looked at for the 105, what we could do is we'll just swap out the magazine, and we'll go to the 103. Let's do a little bit of a cleaner one. So we'll go with the PMag for the 103. Or the A30, so this is a US Palm PMag of 7.62 by 39 millimeter. And then for the handguard, we're going to want to switch that out for, go to vital parts. We'll switch out the Aggressor for the B30, and then we'll just put on the same things like we had before. So we'll run them with the RK2, and then we can go ahead and throw on the Pressed 3. So we'll put that here on the left-hand side. However, I mean, in-game, it's probably better to have it on the right-hand side, just so it's not in your way. But then, there we go. That's our AK-104 Alpha AK configured with the 7.62 by 39. So the only thing I didn't put on here, let's go ahead and swap out the optic. And we'll go ahead, why don't we put on something like an OKP7 for the hell of it. And there is our Alpha AK-104 configuration in the 7.62 by 39 millimeters. So that's our Alpha AK, again, in the 104 variant. 104, 105, exactly the same, just different calibers. So 5.45 versus 7.62. Go ahead and we'll back out. Next up, moving away from the AKs, we have our Kriss Vector. So I'll edit the presets here. Kriss Vector, again, very nice weapon. Firing that 45 ACP round. You can see some of the attachments here. I didn't really add too much. We have the standard skeleton full in stock for the Vector. I put on a tan EOTech. We have the flip-up M-Bus iron sights. We also have the We have a suppressor. We have a thread there to mount the suppressor for the 45 ACP sound suppressor. So this is a Silencer Co. Omega. And then I have a HoloSun LS321 tactical device on the right-hand Picatinny. We have a tan Magpul RBG foregrip, as well as the different attachments to mount everything there. So nothing crazy with this. I also swapped out the base 20-round magazine for the 30-round Glock mag. And again, this is our Kriss Vector, chambered in 45 ACP, running that 30-round magazine. So beautiful looking weapon. Looks really, really nice. So that's our Kriss Vector. And again, it has the fire controls. Again, the attention to detail here. Fire controls are ambidextrous, so we have single, burst, full auto, as well as the Kriss Vector has its patented recoil system, which is located on top of the mag well here. So you can see that's what this big thing is. This big extra room here is because it has that system there. And then we have our safe, the option here for our other fire control. So that's our Kriss Vector, chambered to 45 ACP. We'll back out. And last but not least, one of my favorites again, the DSA-58 OSW, or the Operational Support Weapon. We'll edit presets. This is essentially the DSA arms, Daniel Savago arms, modernized the FAL. This is an American-owned company, so they made it Americanized and modernized the FAL. So here we have it, just a beautiful weapon. The OSW chambered, I believe in this one we have the 13-inch barrel on this. Let me go ahead and see what we did. The OSW typically has the 12 to 13-inch barrels, I believe it is, in real life. So, or excuse me, the 11-inch. So this is the 11-inch barrel. Very close quarters engagements for this bad boy. But again, beautiful looking weapon here. We have, again, we have the Lantec Dragon on there, 7.62 by 51 to assist with that vertical recoil control. And we have this thing down to 158, which pretty high. Obviously, with that short barrel, you're not going to get much better than that. However, I'm building this more for cosmetics. I have run with this in game before. And again, close quarters only. Definitely, the recoil is pretty heavy. But we have the PEC 15 on the right-hand Picatinny rail. We have the Daniel Savago Arms quad rail. So this is our rail mount for the handguard. And then we have our Leopold hammer with the top-mounted Delta. We have the DS Arms Extreme Duty dust cover there with the Picatinnies. And then we have the buffer tube adapter for the SA-58. And the stock is a Colt buffer tube option on there. It looks really nice. I didn't change anything else there. We have the Magpul rubber butt pad for better control. And then we swapped out, you can see we have the 11-inch barrel, as well as we have the 30-round magazine of the British FAL, the L1A1 7.62 by 51 millimeter 30-round mag. So this is our DSA-58 OSW operational support weapon. Beautiful looking weapon, firing 7.62 by 51. Again, it kicks really hard. So the good thing about Tarkov, you get the recoil in game, so you really got to be careful about how you use this. Hammer sight, probably not the best option, but it looks pretty nice. So this is our DSA-58 OSW. Let me know down below which one you guys think is the best. Again, the wipe is tomorrow, so it was fun to take advantage of this today. My favorite one here, probably going to be the Alpha AK and the 105 variant. Just a really all-around beautiful looking weapon, as well as the 416 that we looked at too is really nice. So let me know down below what you thought of the tactical weapons here for Escape from Tarkov. Till next time, this is Buffner Gaming, out.